talking about Assassin's Quest, and my name is Nick. So, yeah, let's dive into it. Assassin's Quest is book number 3 in the Farseer Trilogy. It is the longest book in the Farseer Trilogy, and probably the biggest disappointment of the 3. Not that it was bad, but she could have, Robin Hobb could have easily chopped, 200-300 pages from this book, and I'm clearly not the only one saying that. I know it's been said before, and many people agree with that. But yeah, I mean, there was plenty of aspects I liked. I didn't hate it by any means. Coming off of book number 1 and book number 2, Royal Assassin. Royal Assassin is like, I don't know. I loved it. I thought the ending was awesome. I thought the whole book was great. The pacing was right. The pacing's off in this one, and having the luxury of reading these, more than 2 decades after they were written, I immediately bought Assassin's Quest after finishing Royal Assassin and jumped right into it. Like, all right, let's go, let's go, Fitz, let's get rocking. And right off the bat, it's a little slow, but that's to be expected. Like, it's like an aspect I wasn't thinking about at the end of Royal Assassin is, Fitz has been living with Night Eyes, inside Night Eyes for, who knows how long. And, he's got to learn to be a human again. Like, he all but died in the last book. So, totally understood that. I thought, some of the dialogue in the opening act, between him, Chade, and Burrich, where, there was no hold bar there. They were going at each other, and, eventually Chade and Burrich just left them alone. I thought, that was some really punchy dialogue, and, these are his biggest allies, and, starting off on the wrong foot a little bit. And, it wasn't until the end that, like, I forgot that Burrich thinks that Fitz died, because when they leave Fitz alone in the cabin, and the Forged Ones come and find him, and they find his earring on one of the Forged Ones. I completely forgot that Burrich thought he died. I thought that was a good aspect. Burrich is then taking care of Molly and the newborn, which we find out is, the only living heir at this point, since Ketrikin had a stillborn. But, we'll get to the Mountain Kingdom eventually. I feel like it took forever. And, once Fitz leaves that cabin and goes, we know he's got to go to the Mountain Kingdom. We know that they need to find the Elderlings at any hope of getting rid of the red ships. I had a feeling that this book was going to be kind of 2 acts. First act, Fitz goes, assassinates Regal, and then act 2 is about finding the Elderlings and then figuring out this mystery of the red ships. Like, in the previous books, we keep seeing the white ship, this ghost ship. There's something weird going on there, and it's like this mystery. And I kind of wanted to uncover it a little bit more than we did. And in the end, it just turned out like the red ships were just a plot device this entire time, which was a little disappointing to me because, as Fitz makes his way to Tradesford, Fitz is like back at it. Like, he cuts himself off from the skill. He's doing Chade style things. Like, once he enters Tradesford, he's, begs, barters, steals, figures out disguises, goes in, slits throats and hiding bodies and just killing it. And it's like, all right, you got this. And at that point, I'm like, I love this. Fitz is back. How can anybody stand up to a guy that came back from the dead? I thought it was awesome. Only to find out that, we're going to keep going on and with the whole Regal and the coterie and, you know, all those things while figuring out the Elderlings. And then in the end, you know, 900 pages later, there's not enough time in the book to delve into the red ships at all. You know, they touch on it at the end. You know, they had a black stone of their own, and they didn't quite understand, you know, how it worked, and that's how the forged ones were being created. But I don't know, that was a little bit of a disappointment to me. But the opening act, getting to Tradesford, finding out about, you know, the old blood, and that's really what the wit is. This guy just living with a bear. I don't know, was it an owl or a hawk was the lady that was there. I thought that was kind of interesting, that brought in a whole new dimension that, you know, might get explored further in future books. I thought that was cool. I didn't understand, like, didn't make sense to me that forged ones were like on the inland road to Tradesford. You know, Fitz had to fight him off with, you know, the first set of minstrels he met with the blind guy. And, you know, there's something about this book, and, you know, Mike from Mike's Book Review touched on it when I watched his review, what was it, a year ago, that, you know, all these, it's just like all these minstrels are just throwing themselves at Fitz. And, you know, it's like, you know, I had to check the title, like the author on the book, like, is like a teenage boy writing this book, like all these women fawning over Fitz. No, Robin Hobb is just chose that path, that, you know, Fitz is going to be some young heartthrob throughout. You know, it's three women want Fitz, and all he has eyes for is Molly, which is another, you know, I guess like first love. I get it, right? Like, he's just clinging on to that. He's got nothing but eyes for Molly back there. Back to Tradesford, you know, I thought that was interesting that Will put his mind in a pretzel, and, you know, found himself kind of in a labyrinth, had no idea where he was, if he was on the first floor, third floor, and then just goes to commit suicide right there, only for, you know, the knife to no longer have much poison on it. I thought that was kind of like a cool twist, and like, okay, all right, hold on. There still is a threat from these skilled people. And, you know, Will, we learned a little bit about in Royal Assassin. Not much. You know, Justin and Serene were on the forefront. It wasn't until the very final piece of Royal Assassin that we figured out about Will, and he was kind of like, you know, the secret horse in the stable there. But throughout, you know, the first two books, nothing on Burl and Karen, and then they're going to play a little bit of a role in this one. So, you know, slowly introducing those characters, and then once he is, you know, Verity comes in, and again, Fitz's kind of secret guardian. I you know, kind of look at Verity kind of like Sirius Black a little bit, and you know, just covers his butt until the end, and yeah, comes booming in with the skill, and Fitz was able to get out of there. But the journey from there to the Mountain Kingdom, way too long. Like, are you kidding me? And I was intrigued for a little bit with Kettle. Kettle had me baffled because she gave me like Lady Time vibes, and I was like, is Kettle Chade? Is Kettle secretly Chade and watching over Fitz on this journey? And I was almost disappointed when Kettle wasn't Chade and found out she's, you know, 250 years old and was a part of some old coterie, knows everything about the skill, but yet can't use it because it was burned out of her. We don't find that out till the very end when they're building the dragons in the quarry, which, okay, was just weird. But I you know, playing along here, like, what's going to be the payoff? But I find it hard to believe, for, you know, however long she's alive, that, you know, Fitz is able to convince her that she didn't lose the skill, she'd be able to skill again. Yeah, I don't know. And Starling, so annoying. I know I'm not the only one with that opinion. Fitz's relationship with the Fool in this one, super cool. We're not sure what, you know, the Fool is. You know, the Fool's gender fluid, which is awesome. You know, Robin Hobb, well before her time there. But yeah, the road to the Mountain Kingdom took way too long, and I thought that the skill road was way too long and a little confusing once you find out that the pillars, you know, are portals. That was kind of cool. That was kind of interesting there. But all in all, I thought to find out Regal had multiple coteries, and, you know, oh no, he's got, you know, 5 coteries. Well, who trained those coteries? Like, you know, like, yeah, they had these books and knowledge, but like, how strong were they? So like a little, too little too late almost. Yeah, I don't know if I loved that, like, and they were dispatched so quickly, like, yeah, there's just a lot of, I think, like, at the end, like, try to do too much in too little time when, you know, the entire, like, the book is called Assassin's Quest, so I get it, like, we're on this journey, but, like, I don't know, too much time on the road to the Mountain Kingdom and then on the way to, on the skill road. And I think that takes away from, you know, these other aspects that Hobb was trying to add in. And then, you know, we have no, like, oh yeah, Verity the dragon comes in and, you know, takes out the red ships and, you know, one fell swoop. But like, I don't think the payoff was fully there. Don't get me wrong, like, I still liked it. Like, it did a lot for the world building. You know, knowing that there's the entire realm of the Elderlings to go, and you know, a lot of character development in this for Fitz, the Fool, Ketrican. Ketrican is awesome. The fact that the whole body swap between Verity and Fitz, weird. I didn't sign up for that. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, figuring out how to get the dragons to come alive. You know, again, like, I felt like we were just going around in circles there. Like, we're in the same spot. Like, what is going on? What are Verity and Kettle even doing? Giving them their memories. So yeah, just weird. It wasn't nearly as rousing as the first 2 books, but by far the weakest entry. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I thought there was good character development, and on the whole, I enjoyed it, but the pacing was off, and I'm still very happy I read this series. I loved it. It sucked me right into the realm of the Elderlings. On book 3 of Live Ships right now. Ship of Destiny, I believe, is what the title on that one is. So look out for videos on that. And yeah, I mean, those are kind of my thoughts on this. Oh, Night Eyes, total badass. Love Night Eyes. Love how he comes back to Fitz. Doesn't stand down to Regal at all. And at the end, like, Fitz, you know, what he does to Regal, and finding out that little ferret in the end is what helped Regal meet his demise was kind of like a cool touch to the earlier aspects in the book. But yeah, I thought it was a good entry, not excellent, and look out for some Live Ships videos. All right, that about wraps it. And let me know in the comments below what you thought about Assassin's Quest, and you know, any book recommendations you have for me.